Hello to you. Treating an RI yourself at home and what that looks like and whether you should or you shouldn't. I did a video years and years and years ago, not years and years, quite a few years ago, about treating RIs using an F10 treatment at home along with some eucalyptus oil and some Vicks vapor rub. I've learnt a little bit since then, of course. Do I do it any differently? No, not really. I just really needed to reiterate the fact that when using, you don't even really need the Vicks vapor rub. The eucalyptus oil is more than enough, but in using the eucalyptus oil, what are you doing? Are you smelling all those sheds there? All the other snakes, and seeing where you might go? Huh? Yeah. When using the eucalyptus oil, and I tell you to use the smallest amount in a litre of water, use 1 drop of it. It is fairly potent stuff, eucalyptus, and it's very strong. You can irritate your snake's eyes and their throats. So when I say 1 drop, that's exactly what I mean and no more. I want you to just be able to smell it, and that's about it when it comes to the eucalyptus oil. I use about 5 mils of the F10. Don't wobble off. You're right, you're making it. I'll spin this light round. It's in a really awkward spot because I wasn't really expecting to pick up, whoa, the camera. As you can see, tight squeeze now that I have this great big snake tree hanging in my house. Well, not hanging, it's floor based, but it takes up quite a bit of space here. But yeah, reiterating that eucalyptus oil, F10, about 5 mils in a litre of water. Of course, put it into a humidifier, something that blows out the moisture, the air, into a tub, and I do leave my snakes in there for 20 minutes with it on, and then I turn it off and leave them in for a further 20 minutes. I get them out and I put them home. And the home is, I have upped the temperature by a few degrees. I've also put them onto paper. I also change their water every day, and I watch them. Now, in saying all of that, I also must reiterate that you must know when and how bad your snake is when you start treating them, because it is important to catch it in the very early stages if you're going to do an F10 treatment. Now, I am not saying to you, do an F10 treatment, you don't need to worry about vets and you don't need to worry about antibiotics. My true belief is that if you support the snake to fight it on their own, they have a better chance of building up an immunity to it if they've fought it off on their own, rather than putting antibiotics into them, but that's just my own personal belief. I am not in any way saying to somebody, you do not need to take your snake to a vet, you do not need to seek medical treatment and get antibiotics for your snake. I would never say that. You need to be comfortable in knowing what you're doing and not what it is that I'm telling you should do, because I'm not saying you should do this. If you take your snake to the vet and get antibiotics, you can use the F10 treatment in conjunction with giving your snakes the antibiotics, and they will benefit by having the F10 treatment, and that I can say is vet approved. And I've spoken to the vet, and the vet has said absolutely it will help them. There is no denying that. So F10 treatment does have a place with respiratory infections. Now, more often than not, the respiratory infection is actually bacterial more than it ever is really the viral. It's personal to the snake itself. It is not spreadable. Excuse me while I climb under. It is not spreadable to your other snakes at all, unless contact via bodily fluids, you could say. I'll swing her around and get this ring light out of your faces. So don't be concerned that that snake is going to pass it on to your snakes, because they won't, unless of course you use the same thing or don't wash your hands, or that snake goes crawling into the enclosure that the snake has the infection. So, you know, be mindful of that. It can pass to another snake, but they have to come in really contact with each other. So there is no put that snake in another room. Now, how do you know if it's viral or bacterial? You know, how will you know if you haven't gone to a vet? You won't know. You do need to have a test to know whether it is viral or bacterial. I'm just saying the percentages of RIs in a snake are bacterial and not viral. That isn't, like I said, always the case. So, if you want to know, because you want to know whether it's going to and could possibly spread to your other snakes, then you must go to a vet and have them checked over, have a swab taken, of the gunk that might be sitting in your mouth. Now, this girl did, please focus. I know the lighting is down and not up and a pain in my butt. I have a new light coming too, so I can have more lighting. But, oh gosh, and I lost where. Yeah, a swab. And then you'll know for sure whether it's viral or bacterial. Treatment is the same, but they may use a different antibiotic. But either way, F10 treatment is going to be, again, as I said, a benefit. She is, excuse me, here I do things, you know, keep the camera rolling, gay, and yeah, put another log up there so that you're, oh, see, she sees it straight away. And I haven't even got a chance to set it up properly without it possibly falling, so woo! So I'm going to have to hang on to it with my hand to make sure that she gets supported all the way up there and that it doesn't fall off. Oh my goodness, could you not wait just a couple of seconds for me to set this up, sweetie? Right, and I haven't got the lighting pointed. Oh my goodness. Pointed in this direction either, Myah, because I was not expecting you to climb or grab it straight away, but you remember where you can go and how to get up there, and it does not take them long. But this isn't about Myah climbing and her remembering and her wanting to do this sort of thing. But Myah has had an RI in her life, and I treated her at home and she got over it, and she is doing very well. You know, I got Myah 3 odd years ago. She, is doing good, but you know, I did up a heat. I take the water bowl out. I put it in for maybe an hour. Well, can we see her? I can't let go and turn the camera because her tail is still on it a little bit. Hang on. She's not really weighting herself on it at this particular point. So there, anyway, I just wanted, you know, I would rather you be more experienced in knowing and understanding what signs of the RI are, you know, RIR. It's basically for me when, or should one of my snakes stop eating, which was Myah, my first thought was, is there something wrong? And then it's keeping my eye on her to see what's going on, to see if she does have an RI, first and foremost an RI, before thinking anything else may be wrong with her. And sure enough, you know, after a few days, I noticed her puffing her throat a little bit, and that was the early signal to me that she had an RI, and I started treating her straight away, and I did it for 10 days. That treatment of 20 minutes in and 20 minutes out with a little bit of eucalyptus oil, and at that point some Vicks Vapor Rub, which I no longer use, but the eucalyptus, yes, and a reminder, 1 drop in that litre of water, and no more, because it can irritate eyes and throat, and you don't want that happening. But certainly take your snake to a vet. That is then conclusive, and giving antibiotics, many people do it. I don't necessarily believe in it, but that's just me. That isn't for everybody. And just because I don't believe in it, I'm not telling you to not believe in it either. I want you to do what it is that you feel you need to do for your snake. I will do what I do, and I will deal with the consequences of not taking my snake to a vet. But I would never, if I thought my snake was not getting better and able to fight this off on their own, I would be the first. Oh, you just dropped your tail. I would be the first to be going to the vet. And I generally know after a few days of treatment, 3 to 4 days, if they are not improving, and you can tell, then I would be getting organised and going to the vet. So that's just a little update. They were long video, but RI treatment, it's up to you what you want to do. You do what you want to do and not what I do. But I do get asked, how do I do? I've just told you. So guys, thank you for watching. Take care. I'll chat again soon while Myah decides where you're going to go, because you're going to have to reach something if you want to go somewhere with support. Ciao.